everybody, welcome back to my channel. And I was at the beach on vacation a couple of weeks ago, like I was saying in the earlier video, and I did the unthinkable. I picked shells up again. Marcia, my friend over at My Treasure Hunt, you guys go check her channel out. She does crazy stuff with jewelry that she unpacks from different places. We're both hoard shells. I'm just being I cannot go past the shell without picking it up. And this vacation was no different. So, what I decided to do, and because I've had this question come up, I've decided to show you guys how to drill shells, at least how I do it anyway. So, let's go drill some shells. Let's go. Okay, we're going to get this shell drilling video underway. Okay, so I've just randomly picked some shells up that I had. These right here, I don't know what they're called, but I bought these. You can see, look at the beautiful back on that. Oh my goodness. But I bought these to make earrings and possibly a necklace out of. So what I'm going to do, I love the pink side. I am going to try to drill a hole here in this end. We'll see how it goes because some shells are harder to do than others and some crack. So it's just a gentle hand and we'll see how that one goes. This is a type of mussel shell and it's salt water. This is salt water as well. This is salt water, and you can see the back of it here, what it looks like, and that's what the flip side looks like. So we're going to attempt to drill these up here on the top. I think that it would lay the prettiest that direction. Okay, this beautiful scallop shell right here, I bought this one, and it's already cleaned up. And these are also cleaned up. That means they've been washed with the salt water taken off of them. And look at the back of this one. Oh my goodness, isn't that gorgeous? Yes, the color is just amazing. So we're going to try to drill this one somewhere up in here on this top. I hope to God I don't crack it. We'll see. Okay, this was a piece that needs to be cleaned. I picked it up off the beach, just like it is. You move it under the light here a little bit, just like it is. But it's going to need to be cleaned up, so we're going to take that in and get the salt off. The same with this one. This thing right here is a piece of a lion's paw. And this shell, original shell, must have been huge because this is only a little section of it. Oh my goodness. And the back of it, you can see, oh my, is that not gorgeous? Oh, just wait till it's cleaned up and the salt water's been knocked off of it. Look at that. Wow, wow, wow. So I'm going to attempt to drill this one up here on this end. Excuse me. Okay, so the trip I just came back from, I picked up all of these little guys off the beach and they had both sides connected, so I was able to pick them up intact. And look at that. Let me turn my light. Maybe this will help. Get my hands out of the way. But look at those. Aren't they gorgeous? Look at the designs on them. So my plan is to drill a few of these and possibly make, earrings or a bracelet. Look at these. There was one of them. Let me flip it. Let me see. Yes, look at the back of that. That bright purple, almost a wampum shell purple. Oh my, the quahog shell that they use in the Native American jewelry. Look at that. And one of the other things I'm going to try to show you how to enhance the color on saltwater shells, especially because once you clean them up, the salt is off of it and it looks very dull. And so I'm going to show you the trick that I use in order to enhance the color. Very simple. You're probably going to go, well, shut up. I would have never thought about that. Well, it dawned on me one day and I was going, huh, wonder why I never thought of that before. Anyway, so we're going to go with that too. I'm not sure where I'm going to drill these. Maybe try to drill them here. I'm just not sure just yet. I'm still trying to decide. Um, yeah, so let me get set up and we'll go from there. Okay, we're going to get to washing these shells here. I am in my bathroom versus my kitchen because it is closer to closer to my studio. So let me get the water going here. And I'm going to clean up this one first, which is the, I'm hoping you can see this. I don't know where I'm at. This is the lion's paw. So I've got a little bit of Dawn dishwashing liquid here and an old toothbrush. So I'm going to dab a little bit of the dishwashing liquid on there, and I'm just going to, what I'm doing is getting the salt off of this. I want to get it all out of the crevices and that kind of thing. This piece right here, oh my goodness. When I found this, I was like, oh, what a beautiful necklace this would be. In actuality, if you were to take it and drill it and shape it, it'd make a beautiful top for a bracelet too. Okay, so I've got that really cleaned off. And the next one is this piece right here. And I picked up another one of these another year when I was at the beach. And it's already been put in a necklace, and I'll show you that. It was one of the first necklaces that I posted when I finally got my channel up. It was one of the very first ones I posted, and it was a shell that I had found on the beach. And it's beautiful. So I'll show you what that looks like and what that tutorial is. It's porcelain. All right, let me let some of the water out of here so it doesn't. There we go. So you don't have to listen to that trickle. Okay, now these were the little ones right here that I found this year. And they are really salty because I didn't even have time to even let them rest. Push that down so I don't lose any of my shells if I happen to drop them. Because these are tiny. These are only about maybe at most half an inch. They're little bitty guys. And I'm using the white ones for just the solid white ones first versus the ones with the color because I'm not sure how these are going to drill because they are so tiny and a little more fragile than some of these other shells. So I'm going to use the solid white ones instead of the ones with the color. All right, I think I've got all these cleaned off real good, all the salt off, the sand off. And I'm going to set them over here to the side. I'm going to rinse my brush out. All right. Dry off my hands and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so let's get started on this. This is probably going to be a bit of a long video, but I just don't want to make sure I don't leave anything out. So I've got a piece of wood here to lay my shells on. I have some water in this little container to wet things down so the dust doesn't fly. I've got my shells here that I'm going to attempt to do. We'll see how far I get, but you'll get the gist. I'm using a Dremel tool here, and this one is ancient. I've had it forever, so the current ones are probably more easy to use. I mean, they've just done so much since I've had this one. So if you've got a newer version, yay for you. But anyway, I've got a little drilling tool here. That's a Dremel tool. And then what I've got here is, I didn't think I write them all down, but this is a little grinding point right here that I'm going to try to shape up one of the shells with. And then these are a couple of engraving, high-speed engraving cutters. And this little guy right here is also a cutter as well. It's just a different shape. It's kind of shaped like a pyramid. But anyway, I'll try to put those up on the screen so you'll know what I'm doing. Also, you have to have one of these. You cannot get away from it. You need an N95 mask. Do not, I repeat, do not drill shells without an N95 mask. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the powder that's created from shells is toxic and you do not want to inhale it. So get an N95. Don't use one of the little cheapy masks that particles can go through. Do not use those. I cannot express that even more. So please get one of these. Please wear it. Okay. I know if it messes up your hairdo, I'm so sorry. Let me get mine on here and we'll get started. Okay, so we're getting ready to start drilling. I'm probably not going to be talking a whole lot while I'm drilling. So let's get started. I'm going to start with this little mussel shell right here because it is thin, paper thin, and easy to drill. All right, that one's done. Got the little hole in here on the top. Yay, that was easy. Didn't even need any water for that one. Okay, so let's move to this one. And what I'm doing here is I'm taking a marker and I am marking where I want my hole to be so that I'm not all over the map with it. So I've marked me a little hole right there. And here we go. All right. You can see the hole right there. Perfect. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but the dust that was created was off the chain. All right, so let's go to this beautiful one right here. Oh, I cannot wait to get this one done. All right. All right. Oh, it didn't crack. Hallelujah. Oh, look at that one. Whoa, look at that beautiful hole right there. You know there's going to be a piece of jewelry coming up pretty soon with this little puppy. Wow, look at that. Okay, so we're going to go to this one. This is the one I was telling you that I had done a piece earlier using this type of shell, and I'm going to show you what that finished product looked like so you can get excited about using shell chips. Okay, but here we go. We're going to start on this one. Ooh, baby. All right, here goes. All right, and this is this one. Oh my, look at that. Look at that beautiful piece. Oh, look at that one. It's going to be exciting. All right, now we've got that one done. Let's move to this little pink one right here. I started on this one before I ever started shooting the video. So I'm just trying to check on this one, see how it's going to go. I'm going to finish this one and start on this one. All right, here we go. I'm sure you guys saw the dust flying on that one. But I got this one drilled right there. I don't know if you can see that little hole right there. Okay, I'm going to skip this one just to expedite time. I'm going to go to these little tiny ones. Remember, I was telling you they're so fragile. They're only about a half an inch long. So it's not going to take long for the drill to go through these. These are very, very small. So watch your hands. Please watch your hands. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, yes, success. Oh, all right, there they are. Don't know if you can see them or not, but there's the little holes in them. Successful. Okay, so we've got a few shells drilled. I'm going to go back over to the other desk and we're going to polish them up a little bit. See you over there in a second. Okay, we are back with our drilled shells. I'm over at my workstation now, where all my beads are. And we've got them all drilled. And what I'm doing is I'm taking a paper towel, or you can take a cloth, a really absorbent cloth, it doesn't matter which, and make sure that all of the excess water that you had on there when you drilled it is off. You want to make sure it's dry. Okay, so I've got all these dried out. And you remember this one I was telling you, I said I used it in a piece of jewelry. This was one of the first few posts that I did when I first started my YouTube channel. It's a porcelain and wood necklace, and it is stunning. And on the bottom of this, I've got a couple of shells, if you can see here. Now, this one was already drilled. I bought it that way. But this one, look at that. It looks like that one. Amazing. But look at the difference in the color and this one and that one. A big difference, isn't it? This one I just cleaned up, came out of the ocean, so I got the salt water off of it, drilled it out on the top, and now we're getting ready to make it look like that. Shells are nothing but calcium, just like your fingernails. Let me put this over here so that I don't mess that up. Okay, so shells are calcium. That's what they are, just like your nails. So this is just a trick that I do. You can use other things like resin or anything like that. If resin actually would make it harder, but I don't. I use the same thing that I am using on my personal nails. So I take a nail polish that is a hardener, a nail hardener, because what I want to do is I want to make sure that my shell stays hardened. And like I said, you can use a resin or anything like that, but they're a lot harder to work with. So let's look at this one. Let me set these to the side. We're just going to work with this one for just a second. Let me put something under it so it doesn't get stuff all over my leather. Here we go. Okay, I think you can see that. Now this one is just your basic Sally Hansen hardener. This one is OPI strengthener, but don't use a cheap polish, dollar store polish. Don't do that. Get a good one. So I'm going to go with Sally Hansen. This works on my nails personally, so let's see what happens. Okay, so we have this color here now, and let's watch it come alive. Wow, look at the color coming out on that. Oh my. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, goodness me. Make sure you work it into the cracks that are on the shell. Wow. And you're just going to do one side at a time on this. Now, I'm sure if you go to any kind of box store or any place like Fire Mountain or something like that that sells jewelry supplies, they have something probably like this that's fancy and whatever. And those are great too. Use those as well if you prefer. But this is something I've done for decades and it has proven to be a beautiful thing. Look at the difference in the color of this and this. It just brought it alive. Wow, wow, wow. Can you believe it? Now, you can put several coats on if you want. Once it dries, you can put another coat on. That's what I did with this shell over here. I let it dry and then I put another coat on. I let that dry and then I put another coat on. So this one right here has about 3 or 4 coats on it. I actually did this shell as well, even though it was a bought from the store and it was already like this. I went ahead and sealed it anyway, and it still improved the color. And this one has 2 or 3 coats on it as well. So with that, you will continue on and do one whole side. Let that dry. Do one whole side and let it dry. And then come back and do another coat. I'm going to go ahead and do this side totally. And then I will work just a smidgen on this other one over here just because I want to know what color it's going to turn out. Oh my, y'all. So when you go to the beach and you pick up all those beautiful, brilliant shells, let me turn it here. Just remember, those shells can make some outstanding jewelry. All right, so I've got this side coated real good. I'm not going to do the other side right at this moment because I want this one to dry. I'm making sure the polish does not block my hole. All right, let me do this one too. There it goes. Had a little air bubble in there. All right, I'm going to set that one right there. Wow, that shell has a lot of pinks in it. Now this one, the lion's paw, oh my, I'm waiting. I have been waiting to see what this one's going to look like. Oh, lion's paw is a stunning shell, and I do have a piece of jewelry that I made a little bit ago with a full lion's paw intact. It is in my storefront, theartisancompany.com. You can go and look at it if you'd like. And it's just a stunning shell. Oh my goodness, look at what is happening to this one. Wowee, wowee. Oh my. The color that's coming out on this is just beautiful. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. The calcium is coming alive. Look at that. Look at the difference between this side and that. This is what the shell looked like originally when it was in the water. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Okay. I'm not going to do that whole side right now. I'm going to finish it when I get done here. All right. And then this one, of course, this one I bought, and the color on it is just so beautiful. I may wind up leaving it just like this because they've already done such a beautiful job. But I'm telling you, if I hit this with some polish, the color, the purples on here are going to sing. Oh, wow. I know it. I know it. I know it. Okay, one other thing you can do if you don't want to do this process here with the nail hardener or a resin, if you don't want to do this process and you want the shell to be in a little more natural state, I do this as well, and I always use what I would use on my own hands because that is made for calcium. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So this little shell right here that we drilled earlier, it's really, it's not a hard shell like this or this, because this is hard. Okay, this one is not. So it's kind of like it feels kind of like a fish scale. It has kind of that texture to it, a fish scale kind of. So it's a little lighter weight and a little more fragile. But if you don't want to harden it up with a hardener of any kind, but you want to bring the color out that's on the back of it, like the inside, they've done something to this one on the inside to make it shiny, but the back part of it, they did not. It's just as plain as all get out. Okay. So what I use for those types of things is a cuticle oil. And what I'm using here is CNDC, kind of a short for Cindy, CNDC solar oil. It's specifically made for cuticles. And so you know that it's good for your nails too. So, and the reason why I don't use olive oil or something like that, because it tends to get sticky. Your vegetable oils and things like that tend to get sticky. But this is just something that I use, and watch what this does. It's almost like it's thirsty and it needs a drink. So I'm putting the oil on there just like your own cuticles. And I'm going to work that into, with my finger, just lightly work it into the shell. You can see the difference down here versus up here on this edge. See the edge right there still dry? You can see it, and this is not. So let me keep working here. And it will absorb into the pores of the shell or whatever you're working on there. I'm going to put some on this side too, just to make it even more shiny. And just lightly keep working it in with your fingers, because this has a lot of little grooves in it. And look at this. And what's left over, put on your hands and look at the difference of what happened here. The oil just brought it alive. You can see the difference between this one that's dry and this one that I put a little oil on. Isn't that beautiful? What a difference it makes. Oh my goodness. Now when this dries, it won't be quite as shiny as this, but it's still going to have its deep luster to it. So yes, get out your oils for your nails, which is going to help you and it's going to help your shells. Okay, let's move to the next thing. Okay, so if you have some rough edges on your shells that you're trying to get rid of, you can use a Dremel tool, just like what I had earlier, drilling the holes with. You could do that as well and take a little piece that has a, lost my train of thought, the little rotary thing that can shape and knock burrs off. If you want to use your Dremel tool. If not, you want to do it by hand. I've got a diamond cut little diamond file here. And once again, if you're going to do this, remember to wear your N95 mask, please remember to wear your masks, people. Do not do it without it. But if you're trying to shape a shell, even if it's a hard one like this one, he's drying, so I'm not going to pick him up to do. But gently just go down the side. Because shell is calcium, remember? So you can file it. It does take a minute because it's thicker than your nails, obviously. But yes, you can file it and shape it and knock the rough edges off. You can do it by hand or with a drilling tool, such as a Dremel tool. But you can see I'm shaping this little guy right here on the edge, softening the edge right there. All right. So I softened it up. I rounded it more here. It had a little bit of an edge right there, and I rounded it off very gently. So you can use a diamond file of some kind or a file that's like a diamond file. Or you can use, like I was saying earlier, some kind of tool that's a drill, such as a Dremel tool that has buffers and little things on it. Okay, here's a little section right here that's kind of got a rough edge. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm just gently filing it down. Yep, that one doesn't have one, so I'll knock that little tip off right there. It looks like a little bird beak. I had to knock the beak off of my lapis eagle piece earlier that I did earlier. It was one of the first pieces that was also on my YouTube channel when I first started it back in October. I had a lapis piece that had a yellow bone eagle, and the eagle's nose was too long, so I had to file it off. But the piece is absolutely beautiful. All right, so I filed off that edge right there. That little sharp edge is gone, and I rounded it off. So that is our shell drilling tutorial. I hope that helps you to navigate this if you decide to bite that off. And please make sure to wear an N95 mask. It is crucial. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed sharing with you. I will see you guys on the next project. Bye.